Welcome to Ironclad Ascension 10 run. What I'm going to do here is talk about the various strategies and things I'm thinking and stuff as I go through an Ascension 10 run for Ironclad. I'm not going to stop on everything and explain everything. This is for people who kind of have, I guess, played the game already and know the very basics. Okay, so we are given 4 choices here. For Ironclad, you never really want to go for the last choice because you're burning blood, which heals 6 combat. It just adds up for so much, and it's a great way to mitigate the damage you take as you go through the different floors. Lose all gold, max HP plus 16. It's interesting. It's good. Sometimes it can be great to take if you don't have any shops on your route. So we're gonna have a look at the route then that we're gonna take to see if this will actually matter or not. In Act 1, for a route, for Ironclad, I tend to like to try and tackle at least 2 elites, but mix it up with some rests along the way. So if I'm looking at this path here, there's not many great options. Really, when you want to hit an elite, you want to get a rest beforehand so you can upgrade at least one of your damaging cards. And if you get unfortunate, you don't get any damaging cards, then at least you have Bash to upgrade. So there is a route that gets us 5 rests, but just 1 elite. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up this way. I'm going to go here. I'm going to see how I'm feeling about tackling this elite. So if I can take this elite, then I get a rest here, a rest here, and a rest here before hitting this elite, and I have a rest here for the boss. Final boss is Hexaghost, Act 1 boss. Thing to notice about Hexaghost is his second move is a damaging move, and it will damage scale depending on the HPs you have at the time. So going in here, having elite mightn't be the worst thing if we're going in with a little bit of low health, because Hexaghosts won't do as much damage. So if we do go up this path, we do hit a shop here, which makes losing all gold not great. Common Relic is decent. Rare card, this can be very, very strong. Generally, Ironclad prefers cards over relics. A lot of the very, very strong stuff you can do with Ironclad depends on the cards. Silent is more relic based. So I'm going to go for the rare card and see what I get. Okay, get Dark Embrace. Not much I can do with it now. Whenever a card is exhausted, draw 1 card. That'll be handy in general because Ironclad does like to use a lot of exhaust. But right now, kind of useless and kind of clogs up her deck. But what are you going to do? Okay, not going to talk about the fights too much during the actual hallway fights because they're not that interesting. General rule of thumb obviously is take as little amount of damage as you possibly can. So I'll talk a little bit about the card choices while I'm here. So Act 1 is all about just getting past the elites and getting past the Act 1 boss. Big trap that a lot of people fall into in this game is I think of it as a constructed card game where you can put together the perfect package. So for Ironclad, you put together the perfect strength deck where you multiply your strength and all that good stuff, and you scale everything up. Whereas in actual fact, it doesn't really work that way. The cards you pick should be picked for what you need at the moment, and really when you finish the game, you never finish it with a really tight deck. It's always a jumble of a bunch of different things. So right now for Act 1, what you want is enough damage to get past the elites, and you need definitely enough damage to get past the final boss. So I'm going to be massively prioritizing damage cards here. Headbutt is a good one to pick. It's 9 damage, is not too bad, and it puts a card on top of my draw pile, which can be very, very nice. Twin Strike is okay damage wise, does 10 damage. More of a scaling card this, which it's a poor scaling card at that. It wants strength to be able to play, but there are much, much better versions of this. Headbutt will upgrade into I think 12 damage, and putting a card on top of my draw pile is quite nice. Okay, I'm going to take the special relic. So the relic basically will upgrade a random card every time you draw a hand, but it's just for that fight. It does give you a curse, which is pain, but as you can see, we're hitting a shop here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that and I'm going to remove it down at the shop. Just a relic here. Okay, so you can see upgraded strike there. Okay, so Whirlwind is the pick here. You need AoE in this game, especially as you go to Act 3. Also, Whirlwind does a few things. It's a scaling AoE, which is nice. It upgrades into deal 8 damage to all enemies, which is quite strong, and it has an X amount of energy. So the more energy you have, the more times you'll hit with this, which scales. So it scales both ways, really. It'll scale with strength and it'll scale with energy, which is quite nice. And it kind of works right now for just a damage card. It's not great in Act 1, to be honest, as a damage card, but it upgraded as well, which is nice. But like you said, like you saw there, it's not bad either in Act 1. Okay, Anger is another pretty good damaging card. This is another one of those kind of Act 1 cards that is nice to have in Act 1 and can still be good in Act 2 and 3. Deal 6 damage and add a copy of this card to your discard pile. It'll upgrade into deal 8 damage, which is quite nice. And if I get a lot of card draw, you can draw a lot of Angers for free and play them for free. Quite nice. I think right now we have a decent amount of damage. Okay, so going to the shop. Nothing massively great here that I would like, but I'm obviously going to get rid of pain. Leaves us with 70 gold. True Grit is nice to have, like you can see it exhausts, which works well with Dark Embrace. Do I take it now? So one thing I suppose to keep in mind is when you're going through, you don't want to clog your deck up too much, because yeah, great, you have damage cards for Act 1, but you need to actually draw those damage cards in order to kill the elites and the mini-boss. I'm going to take it because it's just that good a card. So yeah, we are now coming up against the first elite. This is where I said we were going to diverge, depending. We're almost at full health. We have a relic that upgrades one thing every turn. We also have a weak potion if we really need it. So I think we're in a good shape to take this fight. Okay, it's sentries. So the strategy behind the sentry fight is you always take out one of the outer ones first, and whichever one has the lowest amount of HP. This is because the middle one will attack, and then the two outer ones will attack, and then they'll keep alternating that way. So you want to take out one of the outer ones, so you're always just dealing with one attack every time. Okay, so I'm going to defend, but the weaker one brings the defend back. I'm going to attack again, taking 2 damage, but it's more important to kill this than it is to block for 2 damage. Okay, not bad. I think we can Whirlwind here to do 15 damage. It'll kill this. It'll do a bit of damage to this. Yeah, we're taking the full 10 damage to this, but I think we can take that. Would have been better actually to strike here and Whirlwind for. Well, I wouldn't have killed this. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, now you can see we're just alternating between these two. So now I think we can play this nice and slowly. We have enough cards, I think, to be fine with this. We're one off. That's unfortunate. So you can see the strategy of these guys is basically to just fill your hand with dazes, so you can't actually do anything to them while they kill you. But we should be fine here. Okay. Final mask, so card removal always costs 50 gold. That's quite nice, especially because we've already removed a card. Ooh, that is a very strong card to get. Like I said before, AoE is really, really good, and Immolate is probably the best AoE, depending. Whirlwind is also very good depending on what other cards you have, but Immolate is just straight up good. 21 damage, upgrades to 28 damage, I think. All enemies. You add a burn into your discard pile, which isn't great, but the upside is so much worth it. Shrug It Off is also a brilliant card. Gets us 8 block, but we just can't pass it from Immolate. Okay, so if we Angle the Mushrooms, we're going to summon 3 like rat mushroom guys, but we're going to do that because when we do, we get a relic that I think applies 1 vulnerable to all enemies when you fight them. Okay, so I'm going to kill these guys because they are going to buff themselves with strength. This guy's just attacking for 6, it's fine. Got strength here. Immolate, and you can see why Immolate's so bloody good. Okay, that's fine. Brilliant. And there we get our odd mushroom. No, sorry, I'm wrong. So when vulnerable, we take 25% more attack damage rather than 50%. Really strong. Okay, don't think I'm going to take any of these cards. Armaments can be sometimes good, but we already have Warped Tongues, and so I don't think we need it. These other cards are kind of garbage. This Sentinel's okay if you have a lot of exhaust. Fire Breathing I've never found use for. I'm going to skip there. Okay, and now we're going to start upgrading cards. So yeah, we have a lot of good upgrades here. I would have upgraded Whirlwind to 8, but I think now because we Immolate, we've just a lot of AoE. Dark Embrace upgrades to 1, which is great, but we don't have enough exhaust. I think we're going to upgrade Bash, so we get to 3 vulnerable. Get the 2 damage out of it, but mostly it's for another turn of vulnerability, which is great. Oh wow, this is strong. Okay, Mercury Hourglass is just a really, really strong relic. Does 3 damage to all enemies at the start of every turn. We have quite a lot of AoE damage now, which is great. I'm gonna go for a relic. Blue Candle, it's okay. You can play a curse card. Usually curse cards are stuck in your hand and you just have to like pass them through. You lose 1 HP and exhaust it. 1 HP is nothing, so exhausting them out of your hand is really, really strong. Gonna go for Anger now. Getting just copies of 8 damage instead of 6 damage is just very strong. And we're gonna go this way to get the next bonfire. Probably should have showed this already, sorry. Ascension 10 adds these modifiers to it. So basically all the enemies have more health, all the enemies deal more damage, and then there's a few other things like we start the run damaged, we start the run with a curse card in our hand, and there'll be more elites. Okay, Shrug It Off, really good pick here. Shrug It Off gains us block. We don't have nearly as much block cards as we'd like. We've been picking up a lot of damage cards. That's fine in Act 1. You want damage cards to get through the floor, but you want to at this point start picking up block as well. And it also draws cards. Drawing is really important in Ironclad because they don't have many cards that can draw. They're not like Silent. Silent can draw a lot of cards. Okay, so we have a few options here. We can keep upgrading our damage cards, which wouldn't be bad. A lot of strong options here. But I think I'm going to upgrade True Grit. Gets a little more block, but also allows you to exhaust the card that you want to in your hand. Because we have only been to one shop and we had to get rid of Pain, we still have a full suite of strikes and defends in our hand, which isn't great because they really clog up your hand. You don't want to be drawing these cards, you want to be drawing these cards. So True Grit lets us exhaust. It'll also mean that if we get a hand that has, say, Immolate in it and then a bunch of strikes and stuff, with this True Grit, we have to be really careful using it so it doesn't exhaust the Immolate, but once we've upgraded it, we can just use it and get rid of a strike instead of an Immolate. Okay, Lagavulin. Lagavulin is kind of a kind of guided race. Lagavulin will do 20 damage to you every turn, and then after 2 turns, I think it is, he'll debuff you, so he'll take away 1 of your strength and 1 of your dex. So the longer you're in this fight, the more you're going to lose. You just can't stall out against Lagavulin. He'll always kill you. The nice thing is he starts to sleep, so you get 3 turns to like set up things. We could set up Dark Embrace and wait, but really I don't see the need for that. We only have True Grit to exhaust, and that's not enough. So we have already Bash in our hand and Headbutt, two of our stronger, and Headbutt got upgraded with Warp Tongs. So these are quite strong cards to start off the fight with. So I think we can wake them up. If you had a load of powers in your hand, that would be absolutely fine to wait and play the powers and such. But we don't, so we can just kick it off. Okay, so here comes the debuff. Okay, and we should be fine now. Easy. Pair, max HP by 10, this is nice. 90 HP is pretty strong. Okay, so we're going to go Clothesline here. Clothesline is another nice damaging card, but it also applies weak. Currently, I think I'm right in saying we have nothing that applies weak. Weak basically makes them do 25% less damage. Right, that's right, 25%? Yeah. Which is really, really nice. Power Through is an okay block card. That's 15 block, which is very strong, but it adds 2 wounds, which clog up your deck. Nice card to have if you've a lot of exhaust in your hands, because you can exhaust the wounds. Cleave is a poor AoE, which we absolutely don't need because we use so many cards that are very strong AoE based. Okay, another upgrade. 3 weak is nice. 11 block is good too. 8 damage. This is definitely a priority very, very soon. It's just I'm not sure if it's priority now. We're going into Hexaghost, which requires absolutely no AoE damage. I think it might be the 3 weak. Yeah. Added 2 damage is nice to that, but adding another 3 weak and adding another turn of weak is nice. So Hexaghost spends a turn doing nothing, and then he does a big hit now because we have 67 health, so he's going to do quite a lot of damage here. But we have Clothesline. You can see how much Clothesline has just brought that down, which is quite nice. We could use Thorns here if we wanted to. A potion that would do 3 damage every time he hits us, and he's about to hit us 6 times. Yeah, we're going to go for that. This will help us knock his health down a good bit. Okay. So Immolate, block this card. The rest of his moves, apart from those bigots, he does kind of pretty weak damaging moves that add burns to your hand. Okay, so I think he's due another... Yeah, he's going to do this, and he's going to do a big multi-attack then after that. So we just have to be a little bit worried about that. We have a weak potion if we need it. Okay, so... He's going to do 16 damage to us. Go Clothesline, or we could hit him with Immolate. I think we're going to Clothesline. So he's doing 12 and Bash... Oh, sorry, and Strike. Okay, so here come the burns now again. So you see how strong Anger can be here, where we just played, well, we played 4 cards there with only 3 mana, and one of them was a 2 mana card, which is quite nice. So this fight is very much done now at this point. Okay, Act 1 down. Right. Okay, so Demon Form obviously is a standout one here. When you get into Act 3 especially, and the final boss of Act 2, you need scaling. Scaling basically is a incremental power increase every turn, and Demon Form absolutely gives you that. It'll give you 2 strength upgrades until it gives you 3 strength every turn. The big problem with Demon Form is it costs a lot of mana to cast. When you upgrade it, it doesn't change energy, it stays at 3 energy. So we're gonna pick this. I think Brutality is fine. It's card draw, and you lose 1 HP. It obviously card draw is great. There's another card in the game, Rupture, which gives you 1 strength every time you lose health from your own cards. This goes really well with it, but we don't have Rupture, and I'm not going to pick this and hope that we have Rupture. Berserk I just don't like. Gives me an extra energy, but we are at the beginning of Act 1. We have 2 Act bosses to go through that has the potential to give us energy relics. So right now we're not desperate for energy at all. So we're going to go with Demon Form and hope that we get an energy relic. And we don't. Okay, that's not great. 3 pretty poor relics. So Pandora's Box. transforms all strike and defend cards. We haven't cut a single one, so this can really mix up the run if we pick that. Ori, you choose and add 5 cards to your deck, and Tiny House does a bunch of really crap things. I think we're going to go with Pandora's Box. I'm disappointed, to be honest. I think an Energy Relic would have really set this run up. Ori, we don't want to add another 5 cards to our deck. Our deck is already, we're in Act 1. We're going to go through so many more hallway fights to pick cards. We don't need this yet. Pandora's Box can either be really, really good or really, really bad, because we have so many cards that we're going to change. Like, strikes and defense are pretty much some of the worst cards you can have, though. So on the whole, it's going to be good for us, but chaotic. Okay, so what do we get? We got another demon form, which, unless we somehow get something into our deck that allows us to play 3 mana cards for free, or for less cost, we have 2 demon forms in our deck, and we're never going to play both of them. So that's not great. Ghostly Armor, not amazing. Thunderclap, not amazing. Combust, decent AoE for when you don't have AoE, but we have so much already that this is pretty much a dead card as well. Talisize is really nice, adds 3 block at the end of every turn. It's just a kind of nice small mitigation. Shockwave is really, really strong. Adding 3 weak and vulnerable to all enemies is great. It upgrades into add 5 to all enemies. Burning Pact gives us card draw. It'll go well with Dark Embrace as well, which is good. Armaments, we spoke about that before. Don't think Armaments is too bad now, because we can upgrade it to say upgrade all the cards in your current hand for the rest of the combat, rather than upgrade a card. And we have so many cards now that are not upgraded, so none of these are upgraded. Plus a few here that we don't have upgraded. That Armaments is pretty good. I think it's probably a good upgrade hit. And Iron Wave is not great. So these aren't great, to be honest. I think we're going to be really tight on mana. Or an energy rather. We have a lot of high cost cards now. We have 2 3 mana 3 energy cards. We have, I think, 2 energy. No, 4. I think 5 actually. 1 2 3 4, and then 5 here. Yeah. So really starved in energy, which is not great. Okay. So we have a relatively strong deck, if we can actually play it with all the energy. So I think it's decent enough to try and take on some elites. Again, you want to mix it up with some rests. Also, we have 286 golds, so a shop could be quite good. I wouldn't mind, actually, to be honest, cutting some of these really crap things that we got. Maybe cut a Thunderclap, cut an Iron Wave, could even cut a Combust maybe. Trim it down a bit. So the path we could take going up this way hits us an elite here. Rest, elite. It's a lot of elites. We could go elite, rest, rest, maybe. Yeah. Get to here, I think, and see how we're looking. Pretty sure there's no other great path, to be honest. Okay. This is nice. He's not doing anything, so we're trying to play demon form. You can see how, just how much of a killer that is, though, because we can do literally nothing else. The jump between 3 mana and 4 mana in this game is absolutely massive. So being stuck on 3 mana is a real pain, because if you had 4 mana, you could play that demon form and then play one other card. Okay, so this guy has Artifact, which negates 3 debuffs, so Shockwave will do nothing. It'll take away some of his charges, but other than that, not great. We need to block a little bit, I think. Okay, we really just need to block. This is not great. You can see though, Demon Form is starting to do work now because we're just doing so much damage, getting through shield. Okay, Spot Weakness gives us extra strength gain. I just don't think we need that right now. Seeing Red usually would not be a card I would pick because it's very situational. However, I think we are in the situation where so often we're going to draw a hand where we won't have the energy to play it, that I think Seeing Red is good. It also comes upgraded, which is quite nice. So I think we're going to go for it. Okay, so good example here. We have Demon Form, we can't play it because we're about to take 12 damage. And this is why Seeing Red isn't great. It's just we don't really... I guess this might draw. Yeah, this will draw. That's not too bad. So the Chosen puts a debuff on you that where every time you cast a skill, use a skill card, it'll put a daze into your hand, not just your deck. So you have to be very careful about how much you use here. Okay, so 24 damage coming our way, which is quite a lot. We are weakened. Might use a attack, I think, to kill him. Yeah, just want to get him out of the way. We also have 3 potions, so it's a good time to use a potion. Corruption is always interesting. Allows us to play skills for 0 mana, but it exhausts them. Corruption works really well with some like different relics and cards you can get. You know, it works pretty well with Dark Embrace. I think I'm going to pick it. It's a really good kind of when you want to close out a fight, but it's getting dodgy. You play Corruption, and yeah, you get rid of all your skills, but you're playing them for free, so you can survive maybe 2 turns before you have no skills left in your deck, and only attacks. It's 3 energy, which is also terrible, but I think it's probably worth it. Okay, we're gonna go this way so we can get the shop. Okay, for the Centurion and Mystic, very straightforward fight. You want to kill the Centurion first because the Mystic constantly heals and buffs both of them. So when you kill the Centurion, the Mystic will do some damage to you, but mostly she'll just heal and buff herself. So you can just do free damage. Yeah, you can see we're really struggling here for energy. Okay, so Demon Form again, but we can't play it. Combust is good. Okay, now we can play Demon Form, but no, unfortunately. Right, could use a shockwave here. Gonna play this because it's ethereal. Ethereal cards disappear if you don't play them. Okay. Sweet Devotion gives us 5 decks, which improves our block, but I don't think we're going to use it. Sounds quite nice. Loses 2 strength, so they'll do 2 less damage. Really, really good for enemies that do multi-attack. For example, so if you're doing 2 times 5, so you hit for 2 5 times, you'll now hit for 0 5 times, so it's quite nice to have. Okay. Thread Needle's really strong. 4 plated armor. Plated armor basically is kind of like metallicize. It'll give you 4 armor at the end of every turn, but every time you're hit when you don't have block, it'll take down one of the plated armor, so you'll block for 3 next time. Ornamental Fan is really good as well with anger, but we just our deck is just so full of big cards that I don't think we're going to trigger this enough. Okay, I think I'm gonna go for Thread and Needle. We need more block. Go for another Anger, but I don't think that's what we need right now. Okay, so we said we're gonna see how we're doing. I think we can go this way. I think we can take a leap before we rest and see what this question mark is. Ooh, okay. Right, so this is interesting. You take a lot of damage here going through this event, but you'll get 1 of 3 books, and the books are very, very strong. Problem here is we've 55 health. We're going to take, I'm not sure how much health it is. I think it's like, could be like 15 health. And then we're going to go straight into an elite. We do have a lot of potions to help us through the elite, and our deck is, I think, strong enough to beat it, so we're going to go for it. Okay, so Notice Codex, at the end of each turn, you may shuffle 1 of 3 random cards into your draw pile. So basically, you will just keep on getting cards if you want it. I think it's one of the, probably the weaker of the 3. There's one book that every time you play an attack that costs 2 or more, you play it twice. Would have been so good for our deck. Unfortunately, we didn't get it. Okay, so Gremlin Leader basically summons a bunch of different gremlins. They all do different things. This guy will shield one of his friends for, I think, 8 block. This guy just does 10 damage every turn. Pretty straightforward. Okay. I'm going to use a power potion here to start. I think we're all looking bust. And this is now Nehru's Codex showing up. I think we can go for Fiendfire. Nothing here we go. Hey, he's going to summon some guys. So he does 3 different things basically. He will buff everyone with strength. Oh, here's an interesting turn. He'll buff everyone with strength, he'll summon minions, or he'll do a big attack. Now, he summons 2 of the mages, the Gremlin Wizards. They'll do nothing for 2 turns, and then they'll do 2 big attacks. This gives us a chance to play Demon Form. I'm not sure if we need it, to be honest, to beat this boss. It's a tough one. Yeah, we'll play it. I think if we can get a big AoE then next turn. Okay, so they'll do nothing yet. This guy's going to do an attack now, I would imagine. Yeah, 30 damage. Okay, this is quite good. We got Seeing Red. We have Armaments, which will buff everything. We have a free Havoc now. Havoc plays the top of your card and exhausts it. We're going to exhaust the Demon Form, which sounds like heresy, but we need 3 more cards. We have a big Whirlwind that will get rid of... I think we might need to True Grid out Fiendfire first, though, because he's doing quite a lot of damage. And then we'll hit for 14. Oh, sorry, more than 14. Strength. We'll go for Blood here. Okay, so he should be summoning again. He is. That gives us a lot of time now to hit him in the face. Gonna headbutt back to Blood for Blood and then bring it out again, hit him in the face again, and this fight's over. Okay. Ooh, okay, Kunai. Every time you play 3 attacks in a single turn, you get 1 dexterity. Works really well with Anger. Because Anger obviously is a free attack. Again though, we have quite large attacks and not much mana, so I'm not sure how often we're going to get this. We're going to leave Fight Fiendfire. It can be okay for big damage and exhaust a lot of cards, but it again is 2 mana, we're just clogging up our deck. Okay, we're going to go here. I think we need to rest. Yeah, we need to rest here, I think. Because we're going to be fighting another elite here. Alright, Book of Stabbing. Going to do a lot of multi-attacks, so so Disarm is very good for him. We're going to get rid of Whirlwind because we don't need AoE in this fight, and we're going to use Shockwave. And Dropkick's quite good because we're going to have vulnerable on him quite a bit. Dropkick can recycle itself with vulnerable. Like so. Corruption is interesting. Yeah, I think we're going to corruption. Book of Stabbing does quite a lot of damage. You get disarm. Like I said, disarm is very strong against him. Does a lot of multi-attacks. Okay, seeing red is really nice in a demon form. Going to disarm him, going to hit him in the face, and we're going to get back... Probably get something weak again. Okay, so we're not blocking for much here. Flame barrier is quite good. Actually, one thing to note is Nilri's Codex works really well with corruption because it will always give you a... it'll keep giving you cards. So I'm just trying to think here what I'm doing. Getting rid of Immolate, I think. We're looking for block here. It's doing 12. 3. So yeah, sorry, Nilri's will constantly give you cards and hopefully constantly give you skill cards. That's what you need because you get to keep playing them for free and exhausting them. So like we got this from Nilri's, for example. We just played that for free and we blocked for full, which is really, really nice. Don't think we need combusts. Don't think we need to play Sugared Off. Another Flame Barrier, exactly what I mean. This is really nice. Flame Barrier also is very strong against Book of Stabbing because it'll do damage every time. Okay, we need to draw here. No block cards. Still no block cards, which is not amazing. Oh, we can just kill them. That's great. Demon form coming up trumps. Tiny chest, not great to be honest. That's okay, it gets you a lot of gold. Nothing here we want, I don't think. Okay, do we get off the elite train, I wonder now? We're on 50. We can go here and miss the net. We get 2 rests then. No, I think we can keep fighting elites. Ball lightning, really nice. We get a skill for that we get to open it into our hand. I think we might play Seeing Red. Just means that if we get a demon form in our opening hand, we can Seeing Red and guarantee we play it. Okay, Gremlin Eater again. We didn't see this guy before. He's really dangerous. Fat Gremlin. He does a small amount of damage to you, but he puts weak and vulnerable on you for 1 turn. So very important to kill him very quickly. Okay. Gonna go Armaments. I think for Nilri's Codex, really the aim of the game here is just keep picking skills so I can play Corruption. Okay, we get a free demon form, which is really nice. When I say free demon form, I mean he's not doing anything right now, so we can play it and not be punished too hard. Okay, we get upgraded disarmaments thanks to our tongs, so upgrades everything, which is nice. I really want to play Combust for the AoE, but we need to kill Fat Gremlin, and we can't kill him with anything but Clothesline. Not great. Flame Barrier. So we need Corruption now. We're looking for Corruption so we can play skills for free. Okay, we have Corruption. And we are going to... What are we going to do? Playing Flame Barrier exhausted. He's only doing 9. And we're blocking for 4. I think we play it so we keep our plated armor. Reckless Charge, just for the kunai. 0 mana, hopefully proc your kunai. Okay, give us our Immolate. Where's our Immolate? We do not have Immolate. Okay, not great. We do get to play these for free though, which is nice, which means we get Demon Form to play. So we now get 5 strength every turn. We're doing a lot of strength damage. I'm going to go for another Reckless Charge. Actually, maybe the Ghostly Form might have been better there. Okay, we need Immolate now, please. Okay, no Immolate. Okay, we're going to put Weak on with the Gremlin Leader, because we are taking just so much damage right now. These guys have to die. And we're going to get Anger back to the deck. Offering really good. Okay, we're going to take a lot of damage here. Oof. There's Immolace. Okay, we're going to play Offering. We take 6 damage here, which is quite a bit. We're going to play Dark Embrace first, actually. Quite a bit of damage, but gets us so much here. Okay. Not a true grid, I think. You can see kind of what we're starting to do now. We're playing Corruption very early and hoping the Nilroy's Codex sees us through. So the more skills we add to that, the better. Okay, we are on 20 health and we have to fight a hallway fight before we get to a rest. A little bit scary, to be honest. But we have 12 block, which is nice. We have an early Corruption, which is great. We'll play Shockwave, Anger, Headbutt the Anger back. Okay. I think that might have been a mistake. 7 damage is fine. Okay, yeah, so Snecko will put what's it called? Confusion on you, which randomizes all of your energy costs. Corruption, though, does override that, which is extremely useful. And oh, I did that wrong way. No, I didn't. It's fine. That's fine. Which is very useful because he can easily kill us if our skills didn't cost 0. We're seeing red again, to be honest. Doesn't cost 0 mana, but we're going to have Corruption out, which will mean it'll cost 0 mana. And just that extra energy is just so much more useful. Okay, so because we have Dreamcatcher, when we rested, we have a section of cards to pick from. I'm going to go Armaments again, just keep getting these skills for Corruption to feed upon. Okay, here's Corruption now. I'm going to play it. I'm going to Shockwave, I'm going to Seeing Red, I'm going to Bash. Disarm really nice on this guy because he does a lot of multi-attacks. Could have played Demon Form there, but I don't think we need Demon Form to kill him. We're going to play it safer. Okay. Yeah, Sentinel's very good with Corruption, actually. Because once you play Corruption, it'll automatically exhaust, and when it does exhaust, it triggers all that lovely, lovely armor. Or energy, rather. Okay. I think we just have to take this to 14 damage, or, well, it'll be 10 damage. That's what I mean about Sentinel. Okay. Body Slam's an interesting one. We do get a lot of block from Corruption, but I don't think we get enough of it. Burning Pack for more card draw is an interesting idea. I think we're going to take that. Okay, so we're going into... what's this guy's name? Sentinel or something. Statue, no idea. Basically, this guy, you need a little bit of AoE for him, but that's fine. He also does a massive attack halfway through, but I think that's also fine. I think do we rest here? Yeah, I mean, we just have so many cards that we need to upgrade at this point that we have to rely on armaments to do it. I think we're going to rest. And yeah, Havoc is really nice with Corruption. Okay. Okay, Corruption straight off the bat. Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know. Definitely gonna play Demon Form. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's our mind made up for us. We can't actually do that, so that's fine. Yeah, we're gonna now have to survive until the Corruption comes around again, which is a little bit. Let's skip this. A little bit scary. So these two orbs, he'll only summon them once, and they will steal a card from you. The way these guys are coded, they will tend to steal cards that you actually want, which is painful. That's quite nice. So yeah, see, they stole Demon Form from me. Will they steal Corruption? No, Dark Embrace. Oh yeah, I think they're the way they work is they will steal like the rare form a card. Okay, so I think we Burning Pact 8 and Iron Wave, and we bash here, and we just take 12. Double tap's quite nice. So you can see how slow our deck now is without Corruption. Yeah, it's very much relying on that card. Alright, taking quite a lot of damage here. We just tank up, I think. Immolate's quite strong. Immolate actually saves us 6. Probably worked, I think. Get Demon Form back, we can't play it. And we're going to play a block potion here, so. Okay, as soon as I see that Corruption, I am playing that. Okay, so his massive attack is going to come next, so we have to be very careful of that. Okay, we can either Havoc out a Whirlwind or an Impervious. That's way too dangerous. Having out a Whirlwind is great because you get to play the X cost for free, but the Impervious we need for next turn because he's going to do a big hit next turn. Can I get Dark Embrace and Ghostly Armor so I don't lose it? Yeah, I'm going to play Corruption. Corruption will go into my hand, so I'll draw it now. So I get to play Impervious for free. Which is nice. So this is his massive attack, it's called Hyper Beam. It does a load of damage, that's nice. We can Burning Pact out the burn. We can play the Sentinel. Oh, this is good, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to Havoc out a random card.
I'm going to the club, okay?
Good.
Alright, I'll leave the back door open, will I?
Grand, yeah,
okay, and I'll see you later on.
Cool.
Okay, you look after yourself for tea, will you?
Yeah, we'll do. Sorry about that. Okay, so still not fully blocked. We have a Demon Form, so I think the plan here is to fully block until we can play our Demon Form. So disarm, I'll use that. Okay, we're now fully blocked. We're going to play the Demon Form, and I think we can leave the rest of these now. Okay, and we have played a lot of skill, so he does nothing now next turn, so we get to hit him in the face quite a bit. We are going to get a Stroganoff. He does a multi-attack now, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Right, Disarm's really good for that. Stroganoff for free. We're going to double tap out our bash. I'm going to rage and play anger. So you see 27 strength now, so we're doing quite a lot of damage. And that's in dead. Okay, so yeah, Corruption again comes to save us. Okay, so interesting. Like you saw there when we really got going, we played a lot of block very, very quickly. So Juggernaut can be very good for this. Every time you play block, you do 5 damage to a random enemy. Again, it's 2 mana and it's a power. so it's a setup, and we only have 3 mana. So we're really hoping that this boss relic is a mana boss relic. But I'm going to pick it. And perfect. Okay, so only 1. We can no longer get potions, but I think that's fine. We just so desperately need that 4 mana. Okay, I think we're in a really good position. We're going in to fight... God, what's his name? The Awakened one. He's not too bad. Again, AoE is very useful against him. And he doesn't like powers, but we don't have a massive amount of powers, which is fine. So I think we're strong enough to beat him straight away. So I'm going to go and fight as few elites as possible. So I'm going to take the right hand path, go up here, he hits a shop, get a rest here, and we fight a elite at the end, and a rest at the very top as well. So I think that's fine. Okay. Okay, it's a bit of a chunky old deck here, a chunky old first hand. Okay, we just played Demon Form for free. That's really strong. So we have up to 8 a Demon Form, which is great. When you exhaust a power card, nothing happens because power cards just go anyway. I can get rid of this, draw 2 more cards, seeing red this up, combust, and just bash. So the thing with these dudes is they you have to kill them all within, I think, a turn of each other, or else they'll come back. But that's fine because we have so much AoE. They come back on half health, which isn't too bad, but we just have so much AoE that this should be fine. Okay, a lot of damage coming our way here. Shockwave. Do not love the idea of true gridding away my Immolate, but we just have so much damage coming up against us right now that I think we just have to. Oh, that worked. Sometimes you can get unlucky and they just all attack at the same time, which is never nice. Okay. Armaments up another Demon Form. Demon Form. So the idea now is we just get so much... we get so much strength that 1 Whirlwind or 1 Immolate will be enough to kill all these guys. Here's our Corruption. Okay, so this guy now is regrowing, so we have 1 turn now to kill these guys, which is fine. No. Nice. Trench is interesting. Doubling a block when we have a lot of block is good, but we don't have barricade. No. If it wasn't side of Sugar Off, I'd probably take a trench. It is trench plus. No, I'm gonna take a Sugar Off. Alright, we have 419 gold, so we're gonna go to a shop. Another Demon Form there, don't think I'm gonna take that. Waffle is interesting. Do you need to remove anything? I think we can remove a Thunderclap. Clogs up our deck. We just go for another Sugar Off, to be honest. Yeah, I can go do that. 3rd Demon Form is way too excessive. With 2 is a lot. Found Turned Out block at 6 block is good, but maybe not bad. We do have some turns where we're just struggling to get blocked before we get going, so I'm going to grab that. And yeah, that's fine. Keep going. Alright, this guy's a little bit scary because he changes his attacks every time you hit him. So if we use Immolate here, I think we just block, to be honest. Yeah. So yeah, he'll change his attack every time you hit him, and sometimes he will put a there, right there. All right, so this is exactly what we didn't want. Brilliant. Okay, so hopefully we get a 1 or 0 mana cost attack. No, crap. Okay, so he puts a curse into your deck now. That's really bad for us. And this will stick now in your deck for the rest of the run. So Parasite goes in. Not great, to be honest. Not great. Alright, a lot of damage coming up here. It's better. So we're blocked for 6. We could probably just take this in the face, to be honest. Do we want to exhaust Demon Form? Sure. Okay, Havoc. Okay. So this deals for 5, so it will hit him, so he will change his attack. Kind of too scared to do that right now, so we'll just leave it. Okay. Well, we're gonna get a lot of energy here. Demon Form. He's doing a ton of damage to us right now, which is not great. If you're wondering what those attacks are, we've played Juggernaut. So whenever you block, deal 7 damage to a random enemy, and we have a plated armor and a metallicize. So that's the 2 7s coming up at the end. Alright, that was a nasty enough fight. Those fights are never fun. I'm gonna go for Heavy Blade. I'm starting to notice now we don't actually have a lot of damage. But we do have strength gain with the demon forms, and we're starting to be able to play them. So Heavy Blade starts scaling really nicely with strength. And I think that's what we're going to need to kill the Awakened One at the end. Alright, not enough to kill, unfortunately. Gonna go away from the mic for 2 seconds, sorry. Okay, sorry, I'm back. Okay, so a lot of damage coming at us this turn. Okay, can we kill here? Yeah. Okay. So boomerang, again, scales really nice with strength. Anytime you hit an enemy a number of times, it goes really nice with strength. So I'm going to use this. Right, more AoE. Alright, no block coming our way. We do have Orichalcum. We have 10 block actually, which is nice. So this is a good example of why Orichalcum is so good here. Because we actually had no block cards, but with Orichalcum and Plated Armor, we got 10 block out of nowhere. Okay, armaments up. This, seeing red, get a bit more energy. Get rid of the True Grit. Not enough to kill, unfortunately. Okay, so we're going to take a bit of damage here. It's not great. Another anger, I think, is quite good. Okay, so we're on 38 health, so I'm going to rest now. Going to Pervious again, that's great. Gonna go this way because we only want to fight one elite. Armaments up to get a free Havoc. Gonna Seeing Red, and then gonna Burning Pact out the Sword Boomerang so we get a lot more stuff. Dark Embrace is good. So with these guys, these lads will put daisies in your hand. This guy does small attacks until he gets to 0 there, and he doesn't do a big attack. And this guy will either do small attacks or he'll buff himself for Thorns. So this can actually get up quite high. So you just have to watch out for that. Okay, here's our corruption. Not much else really we want to do here, to be honest. Okay, we need more card draw. Let's do it for sorry. Send those. Oh, we can play this because of Blue Candle. We lose 1 HP, we draw a card. No, there's no point doing this. That there, let us play it. We could have played it and it would have exhausted and would have drawn us a card because we have Dark Embrace, but we didn't really need to do that. Would have lost us 1 HP for no reason. Alright, a lot of daisies. Oh, Bludgeon, perfect. So looking for it. Yeah, nice. This is going to draw us cards. We're going to draw a lot of cards here. Sword Boomerang again. For strength. Bottle Flame. Okay, what do we want here? I think we want maybe an Immolate. because we're going to go into the Awakened one, and he's going to have 2 bird cultists with him. Immolate is going to be handy to start that off with. Burn impact off the Immolate, don't need it, shrug it off. So, okay. Still going here. Okay, we get a free demon form, which is okay. Alright, a lot of damage coming. We get corruption, which is good. Gets us a free True Grit and a Metallicize. Still a lot of damage coming our way, but we can't do much about it. Just have to take it. I'm gonna uppercut here for the weakness. We don't get the demon form, but we already have a demon form out. Nope. Okay, getting going here. The deck is definitely slowed to get going, for sure. Let's Dark Embraces, so we can have drawing cards. Don't think about anything here. I think we rest again. Don't think we go for anything here. I think we have a lot of skills at the moment, and it's kind of clogging up our deck a bit. We're not drawing enough damage cards. Okay, so Nemesis is interesting. He alternates turns. On one turn, you can deal damage to him. On the other turn, he goes. What's the name for it? We'll see now. He changes his mode into intangible, which means you only hit him for 1 every time you do a card. So you basically have to just... Oh, this is not great. Can hope for... No, okay. Again, we have no block, which is not great. A lot of damage coming our way. This is why I didn't want to fight any of these elites, but unfortunately we had to. Okay, feeling a little bit scary now. Power 2 keeps us alive. But yeah, it's definitely close. This guy is hurting. Alright, another 21 damage. So we were just corruption to the bottom of our deck, and it's just so key to our strategy now. But that's fine, we should be able to kill him next turn. Right? Oh god. Oh boy. Are we dead? Oh my god, we're dead. Oh wait, we can exhaust and gain. No, phew, we're not. Oh. So we were able to exhaust the card there, which was Seeing Red, and because we exhausted it, we could get a card. This gives us 2 additional cards at the start of each count, which is very good. Because we exhausted the card there, we were able to draw another card, which drew Anger. That was extremely tight. Okay, this is interesting. Get Doubt into our hands. Yeah, because we're on 24 health. We could fight a boss from Act 1. Usually you stomp them because your hand is so good. But we're on 24 health. I don't love that. I might heal the full HP because we were never going to be able to do it even with 1 rest. We put in a Doubt into our hand, which is awful. But we have Blue Candle here, which helps. Okay, so another potion box, which is absolutely useless because we have Sozu. Okay, so we're gonna upgrade the Limit Break here. Limit Break is a card we got at the very end there. Doubles your strength, and we have strength gain obviously from the demon form. When you upgrade it, it gets rid of exhaust, which means you can keep playing it, and it puts up your strength very quickly. Okay, I think we're in a pretty good position coming into the final boss here. Yeah, we're in a really good position because we get to play demon form, and we get to play Immolate. Oh, I messed that up. I should have played Armament first. That was really stupid. Okay, never mind. And we should have drank... Oh, I'm making so many mistakes. Should have also drank our strength potion. Shockwave. Okay, so we're going to True Grit out our Sentinel. Then we're going to draw back. What do we want to draw back? Probably Sword Boomer. That's good here. So I already have 8 strength, which is really nice. Can disarm here. Sword Boomerang. Oh, are you kidding me? We just needed to hit him twice. Okay, what do we do here? We can bash to get rid of 10 damage. I think that's probably the play here. We also could hopefully draw a 1-mana card now. That sounds really nice. Okay, a lot of damage you just took there, but these guys are down now. Battle Trance is nice. You draw 3 cards, can't draw any additional cards this turn, but it's... okay, let me think. 20 damage coming away. I think we get Juggernaut up now. Then we play our block card, play our Battle Trance, and we play True Grit. Oh, we can just exhaust out, which is really nice. Yeah, that's fine. Flame Barrier. Okay, Dark Embrace. Then Seeing Red gets us mana. I think we play... We can just play the Havoc. Okay. Maybe that wasn't good. So he gets more strength every time you play a power, and I just picked a power there, which probably wasn't the smartest thing. Okay, gonna heal here. Double tap the Whirlwind, I think, and we're just going to tank this in the face. Actually, you might... No, we're going to double tap the Iron Wave, gets us 14 block, which is quite good. Then we're going to Anger, and then we're going to Whirlwind. I'm not going to play the Metallicize. Barricade, excellent. Barricade with Corruption is very good. Okay, speaking of, here's Corruption. Okay, so with the Awaken one, once you kill him, he respawns again, which is obviously terrifying. And we don't have a load of health, but we do have our powers and such set up. We have Corruption set up and all that kind of stuff. Just gotta hope for a good card here. True Grit. So we can play the Limit Break, gets us a lot of damage. So you can see our Angers now are doing so much damage, but we're going to get rid of Combust to draw more cards because we need a bit more block. And that's the game. So yeah, we can see with just that much strength, the second phase of the Awaken one, once you're all set up and everything like that, you really just crush them. So yeah, that's actually a really good example of how good corruption can be. You can see that we kind of picked it up on a whim because it usually does good things, and then that put together with Nilri's Codex, where it just constantly fed us. When I picked it up originally, I was like, this is the worst of the three, and it usually is, but I didn't think of its kind of implications with corruption. But it just keeps feeding you cards, and you just keep picking skills, and you can keep playing skills, which is just so useful. The Seeing Reds, I think I was happy that I picked them. Usually I don't pick them, but we were so mana starved that they really helped the deck. Then when we got to Sozu, we kind of had 4 mana at the start. The demon forms, you can see we didn't need 2 demon forms. I said it when we got the second one, we just never needed the second one really. The first one is fine. And then that fight towards the very end against the Nemesis obviously looked like we were going to die, but killing it and then getting the limit break. The limit break here is a huge reason why we were just able to just annihilate the Awaken one in the second phase. So yeah, that's Ascension 10 for Ironclad. I hope you enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed doing this, so I might do more in the future. But thanks for watching.